happiness is a debt to sadness. People do not understand this. And they go, why am I so miserable? What were you doing at the weekend? Oh, I was like dancing around and I was getting drunk and having a fantastic time. Yeah, that's why on Monday and Tuesday, you don't feel happy at all. You used it up. Yay, right, so back again. We like to split this into 4 so that we can be rude about you between each part. How would we know? How would we know what you're really like? What you are really like? So in this one, I just wanted to talk about, I do like, usually in the 4th section of these podcasts, I like to talk about things that we're doing on the channel generally. And I fancied a little brainstorm about repetition and things we can talk about and how often we can talk about them before it becomes super boring. Or will it ever become boring for people? Because I've been watching YouTube recently. I only just started watching, by the way. I think I mentioned that. And I found that many a successful channel really just talks about the same thing over and over and over again. And you go, well, that's pretty handy because you don't need to really do any work.
Or say anything new.
No, and people keep showing up and the advertisers keep paying for it. And they wake up in the morning and they go, let's say the thing they talk about is dating. So you go, oh, right, it's not a dating channel. It's just it's a channel about men, or it's a channel about women, but they end up with half of their content being about dating, which kind of makes sense. You go, well, how do I interact with the other type of person or whatever? And so they go, all right, well, let's do another dating thing, but how can I approach it in a way, this is a channel that's 3 or 4 years old with a following, how do I approach this in a way that I haven't before? And what they do is they go, can't be bothered, I'll just do what I did last week and rename it. Is this something that you have noticed?
Yeah, I mean, with a subject like that as well, there's always new books being written and articles being written that might say something similar or even the same as what's been said before, but you can still reference it because it's new material,
Yeah, I've written down something that already exists. I rewrote the Bible and I got some of the spelling wrong. So this is worth reading now.
Work, yeah.
Find the mistakes. It's a bit like a biblical Where's Wally in a way. It's like those children who make carpets in Arabia, and they're so good at making these carpets that they reckon they could make a whole carpet without making a mistake, but they make a deliberate mistake because they say only God is perfect. But I don't think they've really understood what that means, because a deliberate mistake, if you know you're making the mistake, could be conceived as perfection. Yeah. You could have been perfect, you chose not to be, as a kind of, to make God feel better about himself.
Is he that insecure?
Is he that insecure? When you read some of those books, he is.
Yes. That Old Testament, he is insecure.
How dare you do this? I'm really annoyed about it. He's not good. He's not a good guy.
But dating's a good choice because there's no quintessential, fundamental, definitive approach that can stay open forever, right? It's something that works for one person on one person is not going to work for somebody else on somebody else. Yeah. So there's infinite content to be generated.
Yeah, and that's what they do. So they just infinitely generate it. Well, it's sort of clever. It's dismay. I wouldn't say it's clever. It is dismaying because it just means that people can't really cope with new information, or it just flows right through them. People are osmotic. Would that be fair? Yeah. Where it just goes just right through. And let's say 100% information is coming at you. Yeah. Can you imagine this? So 100% information.
It's too much of all the information.
Or just even on a subject matter, even if it was like 100% of everything they say. Every video 1, dating, how to make someone on a first date think you're all right. Okay, that's the video. 100% of that information is thrown at you, and because you're so osmotic, only small particles of it remain. And if you go out in the wind, even they will blow away. The wind, there's a metaphor for time.
Sure.
Okay? Right. So you're only holding on to maybe 4% of what was said, but you like the way it made you feel, because you thought to yourself, do you know, I'd like to date someone in that way. I'd like to try that out. I'm going to go and find somebody. Yeah, I feel pretty good about this. I already do that. I'm already like that. Oh, cool. That's really good. I feel better about myself. Or, I could do that. It wouldn't be too difficult for me. Oh, great. You know, not too bad. So you feel good. You feel good.
Yeah, you relate to it.
But you can't really remember all the points suddenly. You can't. But hang on, I suppose you could look at it again, but you don't, because you're really kind of thinking about it later. And you go, what was point 2? Was it wear aftershave or don't wear aftershave? Was it pull out your chair for the lady, or was it deliberately don't because they hate that now? What was it? So you go and watch another one, and it's a new one this time.
Might even contradict the old one by this point.
Could.
Might have completely new information.
Hit her with the chair. Hit her with the chair.
Go to a
They
restaurant
love
without
it.
chairs.
Burn the chairs.
Burn the chairs.
Build another chair out of Lego.
Lego, that would be
Lego restaurant. That's
uncomfortable though.
I don't know. Maybe it's like, you know, people lie down on those nail beds. And they say
Yeah,
it's
that's
really
not
comfy.
comfortable.
No, well, that's the whole
Episode
point.
3, make cushions for the
Nail
chairs.
beds.
Episode 5, burn the chairs again.
That's a fun date. That's a fun little dating adventure.
Yeah.
I don't think burning a Lego chair. You would not want to be around that, because
That
Fumes.
smells bad.
Fumes, yeah.
that would be.
Do we go back to those same formats and channels and those topics and just have them rerun for us because we're lazy and we need reminding, because we can only retain so much information in our technological age, because we can Google everything we think of now, and so why would we hold on to that in our memories? Or is it because we use information differently, so we know that we can get that topic and that thing and that discussion and that subject from that one place, and we like it from that one people or person or that one channel because it's relatable and it makes us think these things about ourselves, so we go to that place to get that thing, but we have a number of different ports to get those different things from. I get, how to make the best ramens from the ramen guy who just talks about only ramens, and it's like, well, that's mad. How is he just talking about ramens every day for 7
Well, I
minutes?
think it's probably a
What can he
combo
say?
of the two. I think the familiarity and the trust that you have in the channels that you watch all the time will draw you back to them. But also, I think Googling information is too much effort. It's easier to just type the basic premise and then not have to do any reading and just listen to a voice that is familiar to you somewhat. Just
It's
give you
redundant
the information
now.
that you want.
Search. I mean, search without videos is just a nightmare, because you come up with stuff.
You're
from
doing the work.
You're doing the work, which nobody wants to do, and it's like you got number one, because they come with dates usually. 7 years ago. Well, is that? This one's from 3 years ago. Oh, this one's only 3 months old. Maybe it will make sense, and you get that with the videos too. But at least it's like a person telling you stuff.
Yeah.
Although the stuff I hate, I really hate this, and anybody watching will hate it as well. Let's say you've got a technical problem, which happens very frequently with like computers and things, because they're always screwing up, because this is all like Bill Gates' plan to make you buy another computer every 3 to 4 years. It's like, oh, suddenly this isn't working right. So
It's a good plan.
it's just, his bank account would agree, his bank manager would agree. Do you think he's got one bank manager, like very old-fashioned kind of? I'm Bill Gates' bank manager.
He's a cute little old teller.
I'm very happy. I'm very
The
happy.
Monopoly man.
With a big moustache and a top hat. So anyway, the point I was trying
He's
to
sort
make,
of evil. He's got like his top hat, moustache, Monopoly man, but he's like got a cigar and his monocle's made out of like skin.
skin monocle, translucent sort of, so you can't even see very well out of it.
That is evil.
Yeah, so Bill Gates, his planned obsolescence. So I get very angry as it slides towards that inevitability. Just things start to break down. So like thousands, millions of other people, I will look for a solution to a problem that has deliberately occurred. It's there, but it's a 5-minute video. You go, all right. It feels like you could do it in one, but it's 5. And the first 2 minutes of the video are, hello, welcome to my channel. I'm sorry I haven't posted much recently. Like, I don't know who you are.
Get to the point.
I didn't come here for this. Who are you? This is not.
Give me the
oh yeah, I watch
information.
all of your videos. Who are? Oh, it's so fascinating because I have all of these problems. That's when you buy a new computer. If you have all of them together, you know, I have to watch all of this guy's videos because I've got all of these problems. Yeah, I've not posted too much recently.
I'm not watching these for fun.
No.
I'm not going. I'm watching them for this guy.
Yeah, because he's just a voice and a cursor on a screen that's sort of whipping around, you know.
Don't apologise, just do what you're here to do.
Anyway, the reason you've come here is, so he almost acknowledges it. So you're having a problem with this. Well, you could do, and then it kind of usually works out. And the comments, sometimes
you watch the guff and then he goes, well, basically this is a really simple fix. What are you going to do? And then as soon as he says it, you go, I've done that.
Yeah.
That's not going to help.
That happens.
That's wrong for me.
Close that tab.
Yeah.
When he's talking about his life, you go down to comments and you see, does this go anywhere? And you get the person saying, I don't want to hear all this stuff at the start.
Hopefully there'll be a timestamp where someone will be like, useful information at 3 minutes and 12 seconds, and you can click that.
Well, it's true. I think it's only on phones though. It's quite rare, isn't it? Still, it's not like on every video.
Actually, what I do like is that YouTube now has like a most replayed bit.
Yes, that's
if you're
true.
dragging, you can you can kind of skip to what you assume will be the important information.
Why is that the most replayed bit?
Because that's the bit that people give a crap about.
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, that's the thing that matches the thumbnail. It's like, oh, it's interesting that to solve this computer problem, there's a woman in a bikini.
It's useful for skipping ads also that are embedded in the videos.
Yeah.
Not the ones where it like takes you out of the video and plays an ad and then takes you back in, but the ones where they
advertise
something in the video.
Mm.
Usually the most replayed will be the end of the ad. So you can
They must see
breeze
horrible
past it.
drop-offs in interest when they start doing that. Just, you know,
I
when they
would
go,
surely like
anyway, I want to talk to you.
80 to 90%, I would assume.
I love it when they
breeze
just
right
turn
past it.
away and they kind of pretend that the person they've been talking to might still be there. And they go, we're going to get back to talking to Dave in a moment, but I really wanted to talk to you about a new thing I've found in coffee tables. Yeah, I've been using this copper one for a long time, but I was thinking to myself, hey, what would I do? You know, and they go into, you know,
Goodbye viewership.
which, you know, probably happened there. But I wasn't being sponsored by any form of coffee table.
Yeah.
And then they go, so remember, get that because it's wonderful and use the code, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then you just sort of turn back. So when we were talking about
turn back in like different outfit from the advert bit.
Yeah, exactly. He's like in shorts and t-shirt because it's summer now, not winter. And so, yeah, exactly what I mean, right? So this is the thing, kind of repeatable content. But I just think there's an element of people, number one, they forget things. So they have to come back. They go, oh yeah, what was that again? But they watch the newer video and not the older one because, well, this is a new one saying exactly the same thing. And also when it comes to like opinionated stuff, people just love to hear their own opinions given back to them on a daily basis.
That's absolutely correct.
There's nothing new happening. It's a completely settled question for you. It's not like, oh, well, I'm not sure what I think about that actually. No. It's something that you totally believe in and agree with. And you would go, right, well, I can just move on from that. No. Apparently you can't.
Here it is back to you again and again.
And you love it.
And again.
It's not even like, oh, this again, but I know about this. No.
Do you think we're a lot more insecure as a species now than we were like 30, 40 years ago? Because we need our own opinions repeated back to us so often?
I think probably more insecure with less reason to be. Because in the past, I mean, you'd get properly... I know that people go on about, hey, cancel culture and all of that, you know, and it's kind of unpleasant. And it's a bit... You can switch your phone off. If you go back into the dim and distant past and you offended people, they just come at you with knives and axes and things.
Pitchforks.
So, you know, there's a real kind of interest in not doing
1995.
1995, that was it.
The dark days.
Not you know, not as long ago as people think. Definitely I got into a lot of knife fights as a teenager.
Yeah.
Over really I would say quite mild opinions. You know, it's like, I'm not sure
What was
if...
the mildest opinion that got you into a knife fight?
I'm not sure if Michael Jordan is quite as good at basketball as people say he is. And they were, you what? This was 1995. You what? You mad? Because
All
he'd
of a
just come
sudden-
back from playing baseball, which he should never have done.
No.
And he wasn't quite as good as he was. And so I was just saying, I don't think he's... Forget it. And they were like, shing. Have you ever seen Crocodile Dundee?
This is
That's not a knife. Yeah, it was a bit like that. Shing.
Did you ever have situations where it would be like there would be an answer, like a categorical answer, like is bread good for ducks? And because you couldn't Google it because you were like,
You're like,
in
well, I
the
don't know.
past.
They seem to like it.
Yeah, like, oh, they seem to like it. But someone was like, no, you shouldn't feed ducks bread. It's bad for them. Someone of importance told me that, and you're like,
No, if that was
you couldn't find that out like immediately
if you
on
held
the
that
internet.
opinion in
What
1995, if you held that opinion in 1995, you would be ostracised.
Yeah, it was
Right.
just
Everyone was feeding ducks bread in
Yeah,
1995.
people would be like, "You're a killjoy. You're a
Right.
killjoy," and nobody likes that. The ducks seem happy. They'll
There
eat
was
it.
more ducks
Yeah.
then as well.
Well, why do you think there's fewer ducks now?
Not being fed. People don't know what
Too
to
much
feed them
bread.
now. There's a sign. We actually filmed at one of my outdoor broadcasts. There's a sign in Hyde Park
Don't
near
feed the ducks
near the
bread.
pond. Not only don't feed the ducks bread, but it's like or cheese or meat.
Who's bringing a platter of
Picnic, a
a,
charcuterie
Would you like
a
some
duck
ham?
picnic?
Ham?
Yeah.
I heard that
People are starving
I-
and they're feeding it to ducks.
I heard that a good thing to feed to ducks is peeled grapes.
Right.
Who is doing that?
Who's peeling grapes?
Who's
Yeah.
peeling
So
grapes to give to
they
ducks?
choke if it's not peeled or something.
I don't know. I think the skin's like slightly more toxic or some nonsense.
Then they don't deserve grapes.
Don't feed them grapes. Feed them bread.
Yeah.
Let's go back
If
to
you
the bread
haven't
days.
the wherewithal, because we don't look, grapes are an exception, but we do not eat fruit, okay, with skin on generally, like a banana and an orange. Yeah, we don't just bite into them, okay, because it's quite thick skin and it does, you know, wouldn't kill you necessarily, but it's not pleasant, okay, generally. But we have the ability to peel, okay. A duck does not have the ability. It's difficult to peel a grape as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
duck
fiddly.
does-
That's fiddly.
They're not getting to eat things they can't peel.
Mm.
That's just...
It's like the same thing I say all the time about Trafalgar Square. Yeah? So the one thing that I agreed with Ken Livingstone about, there may have been another, but probably not a lot, okay? One of the things I agreed with him about was he was hard line on pigeons in Trafalgar Square. He was like, stop feeding them. There's too many pigeons in Trafalgar Square. Which is perfectly true. When I was a child, Trafalgar Square was almost a no-go area because of pigeons. And
Big gang of pigeons.
so many. They filled it. Yeah, if they
Wow.
could click, but instead they'd just be... So, horrendous. You'd like walk through it and they'd land on you and
Oh,
stuff.
God.
It's absolutely...
That's before our time, isn't it?
That is before our time.
Because they've got pigeons under lock now.
I don't think I've ever seen a pigeon in Trafalgar Square.
Yeah.
Oh, they're still there, but there's on much lower numbers. Like you can actually see the ground, right? Whereas in the 80s, it was just like it was pigeon mad. Yeah, it's absolute. I'm not
wanna see that.
exaggerating. You'll find videos. You know, Trafalgar Square in the 80s was just like pigeon crazy. So Ken, wisely, to make a change, said, we need to get rid of these pigeons. And how do we do that? We just, a bit like the pandas, just stop helping them. And they will find a level which is more acceptable to us. And I always maintained pigeons, if they wanted to enjoy a Trafalgar Square-like experience, could go and build their own.
And if they can't,
And if they
deserve it.
can't, with
They
their
don't get it.
useless feathers, no Trafalgar Square for you. They've done nothing. They're walking around this thing that they don't understand why it's there.
They've not contributed to.
They've not contributed to. They're making worse with their white poo. Yeah? So,
If they don't like the bread, they'll figure it out. They'll stop eating it.
the ducks
Yeah.
and pigeons.
Yeah.
Pigeons will just get into anything. But what I wanted to talk about before we finish, because time is short, what I wanted to talk about is what can we discuss? What few themes can we discuss and repeat ad nauseum on this channel? Can we talk about... Can I talk about dating? Would that be allowed? Would
guess
somebody say,
so.
don't?
I think it would be a bit weird.
Yeah. Like, why? Why are you talking about? Why are you
Yeah.
talking about people's relationships?
What do you feel like you've made your USP of discussion?
Well, look, I'm an accomplished creative, okay? Very accomplished.
So the film industry,
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, I'm very disappointed with it. And that makes for a lot of chat, doesn't it? Because disappointment can last forever,
yeah.
okay? Joy does not last forever. Joy ends.
Negative coverage is always more.
It's
watched
unhealthy to
than
be joyful
positive.
all the time because you have to find an equilibrium.
Mm-hmm.
The more joyful you are, happiness is a debt to sadness. People do not understand this and they go, why am I so miserable? What were you doing at the weekend? Oh, I was like dancing around and I was getting drunk and having a fantastic time. Yeah, that's why on Monday and Tuesday you don't feel happy at all. You used it up. You silly bastard.
You
I
had your endorphins.
could just keep reminding people. Tuesday night takeoff, I could call it. That sounds like an Ant and Dec thing or something. Tuesday night takeoff, where we get over the miserableism of Monday and Tuesday that was caused by Saturday and Sunday. But takeoff, probably going too far. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
right, from Wednesday and Thursday,
Returning
all we're
to-
doing is just balance. Be neither happy nor sad, and don't worry about it, because you'll screw everything up at the weekend anyway. People who are having miserable weekends probably aren't having joyful at other times. You can be miserable all the time, but if you're joyful, you've got to pay it back.
Yeah.
Misery isn't a debt to happiness.
And no one's
Misery's just misery.
balanced all the time. No one's got the equilibrium perfect.
I am.
You think? You're never joyful?
I'm pretty balanced.
Yeah.
But you're never joyful.
I try not to swing too far in one direction.
Yeah, just leave. If it's getting too much fun, stop. That's like gambling as well. It's another thing we could talk about.
When the fun stops.
When the fun appears to be starting, stop. Yeah. When the fun is really just has gone beyond a simmer.
And if you start to feel a bit miserable, stop that too.
Yeah, because it's probably a result of having too much fun before.
Yeah.
Or you just are miserable. So what's the point of continuing? I mean, there's no point carrying on being miserable. That's not.
This
I'm
does
not
sound like a
suggesting
campaign for Talk to Frank.
talk to Andrew. Yeah? So it's just limitless. And I just keep repeating it. We get a new person in with problems
Say the same stuff.
and say the same thing to them. Whatever they've said. So they go, oh, it's terrible. I lost my job and my girlfriend's left me. And I just say, maybe go on a trip. Go somewhere sunny. Walk around and have a think about it. Then someone else comes and they says, they would all be kind of miserable things, wouldn't they? Something cool has happened to them. I got the job I wanted. Don't know why I'd be talking to this person. I got the job I wanted and things are going really well with my girlfriend. Oh, maybe go on holiday and somewhere sunny and have walk around and think about it.
Really make the most of it.
Yeah, just make the most of it. There we go.
Everyone wants to be told to go on holiday.
Exactly, but don't take out a loan to do it. All right, so that's the end of today's podcast, a daytime podcast, which is funny. It's a bit like daytime TV, huh? A bit like that. We had coffee mugs with tea in them.
No milk.
No milk.
Nope, no milk because, animals, right? So, see you on the next one when it'll probably be just about Christmas time. So I am going on holiday, so bye.